Hi, Jose. Thank you for being here today. This is our first session together. Is this your first time receiving counseling, and how are you feeling?
Yeah, this is my first time. I actually feel confident to, receive my first counseling. I'm feeling pretty confident in finally opening up, so I'm pretty excited.
Okay, that's good. So today's topic, we're actually going to dive in a little bit deep and just talk about a decision in your life. Is there a decision that you need to make, and how are you feeling as far as that?
Yeah, I mean, working a full-time job as a salesperson at Ford and running my own business at the same time, that's definitely like a decision that is always on my mind, whether to keep going or to just stop. But I guess the decision is just like moving forward, no matter what happens.
Okay. Um, so your decision is kind of navigating the new job? Like what?
Navigating the new job and deciding whether or not to continue my business or to
Okay.
just build something at my job or
Okay.
you know
Let's start off with kind of just seeing. I want to know how this business started and what the goal is with the business. If you want to just kind of describe that and see how I can help you as far as how did you start this business and where do you feel like the goal is with it?
I started this business back in Midland, Odessa, a small town. So I started with literally just a hoodie for myself. I felt like, especially living in a small town, there's no clothes there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so there was no clothes there. I couldn't find anything that would fit me properly. So I decided to just make my own hoodie for the gym. I wore it, and from there, I was just getting compliments. I was getting people to like running up to me, telling me like, "Hey, where'd you get that hoodie?" And I was like, "Well, funny story. I actually made it myself, so it's a one of one." And people actually were telling me like, "Bro, I'll buy it off of you right now, $70 right off of you." And I thought they were joking, but then two, three more people came up to me telling me the same thing, even negotiating like, "Bro, I'll give you 80, I'll give you 90." So from there, I was like, "Okay, well." It kind of gave me an idea. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do a Snapchat story poll. Went ahead and did that, and from there, I kind of just got reviews and from other people, their opinions on it, and there was a lot of good feedback. So I went ahead and placed my first order. Once I did that, that was just history. From there, I kind of got like 50 pieces made my first drop, and kind of just put everything in a trash bag. I don't know why in a trash bag, but I put everything in a trash bag. And I was just going basically kind of like door to door in a way, but not really because I was getting people. I was just driving to them, pulling up, opening up my trunk, telling them, hey, what size did you get? Oh, you got a medium, kind of searching for the medium, giving it to them. And that's how it kind of started.
So you started with just using the what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of like what you working with what you have. So
Yeah, I was working with what I had.
because you found like a fire in you and you wanted to keep going and you thought it was pretty cool. Like, hey, these people are seeing this shirt and or this hoodie and they're liking it, so I wanna see like how this is gonna go. So you started kind of seeing how it would be out there, like seeing what people's opinions were, kind of were you like testing the water, seeing maybe if you could get feedback on it so you can keep growing, or was it just kind of like a one-time thing that led to something better?
It was a one time thing just because I didn't think nobody was gonna like my type of taste because the whole primary goal of the hoodie was to make something that fits me right because at the time I was a pretty bigger person, so I wanted to get something that fit me right and then just kind of do my own design, like be creative, and I put my own design on my own hoodie. And it honestly felt pretty great knowing that people actually loved the design on the hoodie.
Yeah.
And from there, it actually did give me the drive and fire to just keep going.
So it was
from
something
there.
you created and you
Yes.
saw that the passion of like people liking it and it fueled you a little bit more.
Yes, it felt pretty good.
So starting off by kind of, you said you started off with a hoodie, you made an or Snapchat poll, Instagram poll, kind of got some feedback, dropped the hoodie, sold about 50 pieces. Where did you see yourself after you said it was a one-time thing? So after that, where did you see yourself going, like making more steps towards maybe continuing the business, or how did you get the idea to keep going?
I got the idea of just the support from my city. I felt like I had a lot of people on my back just supporting me and rooting for me. So I felt like a bigger purpose at that point. It just felt like I didn't just have to do it for myself. I had to do it for the city as well. Just to kind of put on for, especially being such a small town. So it just felt more motivating knowing that your own town was supporting you. Especially coming from a small town, you feel like um, the support isn't really there because there's really nobody out there doing different things. So when you're doing that, it's like, wow, like I really can do this. I have the team behind me. I know if I fail, then I got people to support me to just kind of keep going.
So the
And
idea of like jumping in at first and not knowing how it's gonna go, or it could be a flop, or you
yeah,
didn't know if there'd be success in it, and it ended up being something more than what you thought it would be.
yes, 100%.
So when did this start? This was how many years ago?
It was beginning of 2023.
Okay. So now that it's 2026, within the past 3 years, have you expanded in any way with your business, or how are things going as far as the selling process of it?
It definitely has expanded. It's gone more worldwide, I would say, because now that I do everything e-commerce, so I do everything online.
Okay.
Getting orders from Arizona, from New York, from all over the U.S. So
Online, as in like what? How are you doing it online? Do you
I'm
use
doing it through a platform called Shopify. So
Okay.
it's as easy as just going on the website, seeing the merchandise on there, and just paying for it and getting a receipt. So
how has the business grown over the past 3 years?
it's grown. It's
So
grown.
you went from selling like 50 pieces to now, how much are you, like, do you see yourself being more successful now? Like, has it been growing more?
Yeah, I definitely do. I mean, every time when I do drop, I still kind of stick around 50 pieces just to be on the safe side. But
Okay.
this next drop I have is actually, I doubled it, so it's 100 pieces. But I have sold 100 pieces at once. I believe that's the most I've sold is like 100 pieces in like within a month.
So you're dropping more frequently than you were before?
Yes, I've been
Okay.
doing at least once a month.
Okay. And so I know, going back to the beginning about the decision you have to make as far as you're in sales now, where is the struggle in continuing sales and doing your business? Like, where is that decision hard to make?
It's just the stress, I would say, because being a full-time salesperson, having quotas to hit at a dealership, to pay your bills, pay your funding, pay everything, and just being self-employed on your business side, not having like a team to basically do things with you. So it's basically just doing everything on your own. So it's like a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing because I have something, it's a vision that was given to me that I'm more than grateful to have. But the stress is just like, okay, what do I do? Like, okay, how can I take it to the next level? So it's not really needing not really needing a team, but it's really like what decision, like, because decision is very important in life. So the decision you make can either get you to the next level or it can backtrack you. So it's just really playing your cards right, kind of moving strategically and just kind of going from there.
Being that your team is yourself, how would you say, is there anybody in your circle as far as like a support team? Do you feel like anybody supports you in your decision making process?
Yeah, I would say when I feel like I need an opinion or some type of decision making, I always go to my girlfriend. She's my backbone when it comes to it. So even though sometimes I might not agree, sometimes I have to be open minded and be like, hey, like, it's your business, but at the end of the day, you're not selling for yourself, you're selling for others. So it's good to get good feedback, whether it's something you want to hear or not, because at the end of the day, you have to provide what others want, not what you want. And as an entrepreneur, I feel like a lot of people, including myself, sometimes that's hard to accept because you feel like, oh, well, I'm making clothes that I like. But at the end of the day, a business should not be ran like that. It should be ran, it's not what I like, it's what others like. Because there's only one of me, there's billions of people on this planet that, they're buying because they like it, not because necessarily you like it. But it still is a good feeling because it's still like a vision that I still get to be a part of, but at the same time, it's like, it feels good knowing that, people do support it.
Yeah, because a lot of businesses, like, to this day, have started from scratch, literally in the place that you are now. It's just trying to understand, like, how can I do this so it gets me to where I want to be, but also not having to take any steps back, which is bound to happen in any business. So as far as the decision-making process, I know you said you want to make that more of a full-time kind of like center of your life. So is working at you said you work at a dealership. Is working at the dealership a vision you see for the next few years while you're also running your business, or where is that kind of at right now?
I definitely do because I feel like, especially being in sales, it's like you are still in the entrepreneurship, and I feel like a lot of those skills you can transfer over to your business, especially at a dealership. At a dealership, it's the best way I can describe it is they provide the inventory for you. You just gotta sell it for them now. So it's like a safe startup business, quote unquote, I guess you can say. Because the other way, like the clothing brand, like my clothing brand, I provide everything myself. I provide the inventory, the marketing, the shipping, fulfillment, all that. So I do all that myself. At the dealership, they handle everything. I just have to be present and just sell. Because if I don't sell, then I can't use that money to invest it to my business. So it definitely teaches you a skill set, that I feel like every entrepreneur has to have a skill set of selling. Because if you can't sell, then how do you expect to make your business, thrive?
Like financially, be able to fund it and make those steps. So what are the pros and cons right now that you see of keeping the business running and also working at the dealership?
Definitely time. Definitely time is like it's a pro and a con because with time it just really depends on how I use it. So being at a dealership from basically the whole day because I'm there from 9 till 8. Well, I show up a little earlier for meetings, but basically 9 to 8 every day. So it's really just time management. But I mean, of course, within those hours, it's like a con and a pro at the same time. Why? Because a pro of it is there's a lot of downtime sometimes. So within that downtime, it's up to you. Are you gonna sit there, scroll on Instagram, scroll back and forth through Snapchat, Instagram, or in that downtime, are you gonna reach out to clients? Are you gonna text them? Are you gonna provide pictures for them? Are you gonna reach out, try to get your own clients? Are you gonna post content? So it really just depends on how you do it. So that's the pro. It depends. Like it depends on how you view it, really. So there's that. Those are the pros and cons of that.
Okay. So how are you using your time right now for the business working at the dealership? So you're weighing out the pros and cons of the dealership, but as far as your business, how do you see that working?
Well, it goes back to the decision. So right now, I'm making the decision where, since I know I am gonna be like full time at the dealership, does not mean I'm not gonna be able to run my business though. So the decision that I'm actually leaning towards is sending it to influencers, meaning like not mainstream influencers, but influencers in the same category that I present in my clothing industry. So I'm making sure I'm still targeting the same audience. So the way that I'm going about it is sending them at least like a merchandise or two, because I have 100 pieces, so I got 2 shirts that are coming out. So sending like at least one influencer one of those pieces and letting them do the work for me. So as I provide them the merchandise, they're going to be uploading content on my behalf, tagging my brand, basically saying like, hey, they're dropping on so and so date. It's going to be a limited quantity. Once it's gone, it's gone. Kind of like pushing urgency as well. And since they have the fan base that's kind of related towards what I'm aiming for, like a Christian-based clothing brand, that's like the decision I'm leaning on right now. And it's tough. I don't know if it's gonna go good or if it's gonna go bad, but I'm gonna attempt it, and I guess we would only know once it comes to that time.
So people in fashion right now, you're gonna send out some pieces to them, see if they can promote it for you. So that way you're also working at the dealership, being able to fund the business, but not kind of putting not putting the business aside, or still trying to give it attention, as much as attention you can. Right now, being that you are working a full-time job.
Yes.
So what other steps do you see yourself, like what other steps are you going to take towards making this a little bit more, go in the direction that you want it to?
Just honestly, just throwing myself more out there. Like, yes, I can depend on that as well, but everyone gets the same 24 hours that, everyone gets the same amount of time. So, I mean, I can either just go off of that, or I can also use some of the time when it's an hour, 30 minutes. When I get home from the dealership, I might be tired, but that doesn't mean I can't pick up a phone, pick up a camera, and still post something to show people like, hey, like, it's possible. So it might take time, but that's the whole purpose of it. Nothing's built overnight. So
yeah. Is your one of your goals? So let's talk about goals now. Is one of your goals working at the dealership until you can financially just live off of the clothing brand, or what kind of goals are you looking at right now as far as the future?
Definitely, I mean, my clothing brand's always my number one pick.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't mind growing in a dealership world just in case if, because I know a business isn't gonna grow overnight. Once again, so it really just depends. So clothing brand number one priority goal. That's always plan A. Plan B. I don't like to have a plan B, but there's always something you have to step down to. You know, kind of put
Just
the
in
ego
case.
aside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So definitely the dealership, especially working at Ford. I know I didn't mention this, but working at Ford, I feel like there's a lot of growth and opportunity there.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that's starting base as a sales representative, working up to management, working up to the desk as in finance. Um, that's growth because no matter where you go, you turn and look around. There's always a dealership in the corner. So if I relocate back to where I live, I know I can still go somewhere where I can still continue to make money and still leverage that money to invest.
Okay.
And it's
Um,
a skill too. So
okay. You said like working in the oil field. Where is that coming into? Like where is that at?
honestly, oilfield, I feel like that's in the past, especially
Mm-hmm.
being an entrepreneurship. Labor, nothing wrong against it, but I mean, at the end of the day, labor is labor. You can only do so much in that industry.
Mm-hmm.
Unless if you want to build an industry within that field, then that's, by all means, that's a different story.
Is that how
Um,
you started the
that is
clothing
how I
brand?
started. I started working in the oil field as just a shop hand.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, I mean, I was putting lots of long hours, doing a full-time job, hitting the gym, and just selling clothes.
Mm-hmm.
But during the time, I didn't know what I was building because the vision had just came to me during that
Mm-hmm.
time. So at first, I guess you can kind of say it was a hobby at first, just like, oh wow, like I can actually make money off of this. Like that's cool. It's like a secondary income. Um, but then saw the potential in it, did a little bit more research on it, and that's when I told myself like, wow, I can really make this bigger than what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like I saw the bigger picture in it.
Yeah. So moving from, you said you used to live in a small town, Odessa, Midland. So moving from Odessa, Midland to now you're here in Dallas. What do you feel like as far as the business, has this helped you in any way?
It definitely gave me more confidence and more growth.
Mm-hmm.
Midland, it's nothing wrong with Midland. I love Midland. Uh, Matter of fact, that place is actually growing. So it's cool seeing that small town grow. But the thing I love about Dallas is that there's a lot of business out here and there's a lot of business-minded people.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason why I say growth is because there's a lot of network I've built out here
Yeah.
that just connections in general, seeing how they move, picking their brain bits by bits, just learning how they do it and how they manage to go
Yeah.
from zero to, just climbing up the ladder from there.
Yeah.
And then especially, Dallas is so big. There's so much people out here. You get to experience so many different diversity
Yeah.
in people as well. So it expands the category of not accept, but it expands the category for sure.
Okay.
Like
For your Christian clothing brand, you
yes,
feel
like
like there's more diversity in it, different kinds of people
yes,
wearing it.
all types of different people, all types of different niches, and all types of different. Does everyone's unique?
Mm-hmm.
Like well, put it that way. Everyone's unique, and it's cool to see everyone's personality, knowing how I'm different from this person. But at the end of the day, we all unite. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
So with networking, you said that you can network out here. There's a lot more people kind of like in the same niche as you. Have you been able to build any connections or like mentorships or anything like that?
Yeah. So one mentorship. I don't bug him a lot just because I know he has his own life going on.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd be lying if I said I didn't learn a few things from him.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning like how to go viral, making content. I haven't gone viral yet, but when I was being a little bit more consistent with it, I could tell like learning like the niches, the captions that I was using, the angles, simple things like that, the fundamentals. Sometimes we do have to remind ourselves like the fundamentals are always key. We're too busy trying to get to the next step when we're forgetting. Sometimes we have to just go back to the fundamentals, remind ourselves, and just kind of go from there to keep it moving forward.
Okay.
But yeah, definitely. I mean, I feel like I've built some pretty good connections, and it's helped to grow.
Do you see yourself with more like more people to network with and more mentorships, or do you see yourself kind of like figuring this out by yourself? Like I know you said that you started off figuring it out by yourself? Do you see yourself wanting to grow a little bit more with other opinions, or do you like that you're learning this by yourself?
I'll say both.
Both?
Because it's so the way you can look at it is mentorship. It can give you knowledge, like it can skip 1 year of failure, not failure, but of lessons.
Okay.
So when it comes to mentorship, they definitely give you a guide in like, hey, do this instead of doing this.
Like you feel like you're reaching
they
your goals
a little bit faster.
strategically,
Yes.
a little bit better. Yeah.
Yes, 100%. Because if clearly, like, if they're at the point in life where I want to be at, they know something I don't know,
Yeah.
and what they went through, they want to save that from like experience. They want to save me from failing from what they had to go through. How can I explain? Like, they want to save me the hassle, basically, like the hassle of like, hey, like, you know, you have this set up on your website, go ahead and tweak it and do this differently. And then I mean, it's just it does help out. It saves time in the long run instead of having to figure everything out yourself. But I do recommend doing a lot on your own too, because you can't expect everything to just go right. You have to, I don't call it fail, but you have to fall in order to learn. If you don't fall to learn, then you're never gonna improve. And that's what kind of keeps you going. It's stressful, it's hard, but at the end of the day, every entrepreneur has to go through that. I mean, one thing that always stuck with me is how FedEx started. Their business almost collapsed, and he was literally in debt. And now he's literally global. He's like one of the best companies for shipping.
Or also, like, I know I've heard a lot of stories about a lot of entrepreneurs or CEOs, business owners that miss out on chances. Like I've heard, I think it was the story about BlackBerry, and the guy that was the CEO of BlackBerry wasn't taking the like everybody's opinions, and he missed that opportunity of growing. And I think Apple had skyrocketed that same year or something like that. Like he missed an opportunity, so you just never know. Like,
yes, it's definitely always be open-minded.
So working towards your decision, do you know if there's anything, like, what is something small you can do to work towards that decision? As far as
Going back to the fundamentals, I feel like sometimes I get too much in my head, and I feel like I have to make, because like another thing that's like a comparison is the thief of joy. You see all these big brands like Nike, you see Adidas, Under Armour, Puma. Those are just the first brands I can think of. But you see their type of commercials, and you want to leverage that into your business, but at the same time, you can't compare oranges and apples. You know, like you gotta just go on your own pace and stick to the fundamentals until you reach that type of level. Once you reach that level, then you can start, okay, cool, I have X, Y, and Z to invest to start doing high content, get models, and, you know, stuff like that, like high fashion models. But just kind of stick with the fundamentals, work with what you got, don't compare, and just kind of just go with the flow.
Comparison is the thief of joy. Is that what? Yeah, I can see that.
Because everyone's, you know, we're all going at our own pace, and I feel like some people try to get ahead of it, and that's exactly what makes people fail, because they get ahead of it, they start comparing, they lose the joy. You got to remind yourself why you even started to begin with, and that's one thing I've been telling myself, like, hey, I didn't start this for the money, I didn't start this to be global. Like, I mean, now that's the mindset, but when I first started it, I started it because I found joy in it, and it gave me...
Making people happy too, not just yourself, but like you saw how much it made you feel too.
Seeing people wear the shirt, having smiles, you know, shirt, hoodie, shorts, whatever it was, the case scenario, but making them feel confident in something that you made, that's what I have to remind myself. Like, hey, I'm making it for the people, I'm not making it for the dollar bill.
Do you still have support from your small town? Like, do you think that helped you a lot?
Oh yeah, definitely, 100%. That's the one thing I was always thankful and grateful for, is that even though, you know, I thought I was going to get as much support as I did, it's good knowing whether I moved 6 hours away, or even if I moved 10 or, you know, 20 hours away, I know whether I drop a merchandise, not everybody's going to buy it, but I know I still have a hand selected few people that will buy, that I would rather have those 5 same people buy than have the whole city buy.
The people that were there from the beginning helped you make this business.
That saw the vision before I even did. Because it feels good knowing, like, I had people telling me, like, whenever I just thought it was a hobby, but I had people telling me, like, hey, I can see this becoming $1 billion brand one day. And I remember they're sitting like, wow, you really think that? And that always sticks in my mind. And I'm just like, I was at the gym working out, and I had one of my buddies tell me that. And I was just like, okay, like that. I remember I couldn't sleep that night because I just had that saying repeated over and over, saying like, hey, like, you know, it feels good knowing, you know, you have someone believing in you, not just that one person, but just people in general. So that's another motivation that kind of keeps me going.
Yeah. So, I think kind of going back to the beginning and the decision making process, I do feel like having you stay, or I think seeing you stay at the dealership is something that you should just continue to do as far as helping, like seeing the brand grow on the side, but also making sure you have that financial stream of like just having that income to be able to fuel it for now. Do you see yourself like in the next few months kind of just getting away from the dealership, or do you see yourself being there for long term until you grow the business?
I can see myself being there long term, just because there's a lot of opportunity there in the dealership too.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, the more success you do in the business, the more money you have to do up front. Um, and I don't have like the capital to like, let's say if the brand blows up overnight, and now I have to provide like thousands of orders. Like, if I don't have the money to do so,
Yeah.
how would I do
So I
that?
definitely feel like that's a smart decision to make right
Yes,
now.
is to leverage the
definitely
money. Just be smart with the money, leverage it properly, and just
Yeah.
do my investments properly.
So do you feel like this session has helped you make this decision now that you're kind of a little bit more confident in what you want to do?
I would say yes. It feels good opening up and you know being able to talk about it, because sometimes I feel like we get too stuck in our mind that not talking it to someone's like your head's about to blow. So
you're holding it all in.
you're holding it all in. You're not talking to someone about it. And I feel like once you talk to someone about it, it just kind of frees a little bit more of thinking process in your mind.
Like just speaking it out loud. Even not even just talking to people, but like maybe even writing things down or kind of just brainstorming. And you don't have to, like, I know that you said this is beneficial for you, but even when you're at home by yourself or in your own space, you could maybe jot some things down and kind of get those thoughts out so that you don't feel like you're so into your head and your thoughts, or overthinking. But I definitely feel like I got to know you a little bit more, and this session I hope was beneficial to you, and hopefully the decision making process will be easier.